Okay, this is VM. This is not the VM series this time. This is to be entertained, and I want to explore the identity of this video stating normal guy explores the worst street in Atlantic City, New Jersey, because it kind of disrupted my feelings on certain aspects of people's perspective on life, on the people, the residents that live in Atlantic City, as well as not only Atlantic City but other areas. It doesn't matter where you're at. You know what I mean? Like, it could be anywhere. So anyways, let me watch the first 20 seconds and give you my viewpoint, because I do have credentials. I've known this guy for about 12 years, okay? And I will go more into detail with that as we speak. So the first 20 seconds I will watch, and here we go.
Yeah, what's going on, guys? Normal is the attitude, guys, the noun, whatever. So, you guys come out here to AC, and, like a lot of people think it's like a nice tourist attraction. It's like really chill, you just gamble, you just go home, but...
Alright.
We sort of just decided to take a deep...
First of all, he mentions gambling, right, when he's in the inner part of Atlantic City, because I've been there multiple times, and I love Atlantic City. I love all areas, parts, walks of life, towns, cities, or whatnot. It looks like he does not want to, document this video, obviously, but he took a chance and a risk, which is, I do respect him in that aspect for the first 20 seconds of the video. Now, going on that aspect, the judgmental, opinionated verse of saying that casinos will make Atlantic City look good, but you don't know, because you could sit there and say, okay, well, first of all, yes, okay, gambling, right? Casinos, this and that. You know what? We don't know. It could be run by organizations, that we don't know about. That's not my, that's their personal business, in all due respect. I'm not exploiting nobody, and I don't blame them, because they have, money to make for their families and feed their kids and their wives or whatnot, and whatever the case may be. So in that aspect, he looks scared in this video, but in all actuality, it doesn't matter where you are from, it's where you're at. It doesn't matter. You could walk into any city of the world, right? You could spin the globe like this 3, 4, 5 times, right? Close your eyes, blindfold your eyes, and just pick a spot, right? Just because the news, CNN, Fox, this, that, whatever the case may be, right? They say this about a city, people believe it based on circumstantial evidence of how a city is run. That's not the case. There's residents that's been here. There's no basic factual evidence that speaks for itself to say that one city is worse than another, that city is worse than another, right? So you cannot sit there and exploit the outer skirts of Atlantic City to the inner skirts of Atlantic City, all right? The people that grown up there, like, there's also, mentions of gangs and this and that. I don't like using the interpretation of gangs, because I know people from gangs, and I respect them very much. They're people like me, you, anybody else. You can't sit there and look at somebody physically and just describe them and judgmentally say, oh, well, he's like this, he's in this gang, he's in that gang, street gang, blah, blah, blah. They're doing what they have to do to put money on the table for their families, because the government, sometimes they, don't give an equal opportunity in the sense of giving them a rightful job, and they have to fall back on what they know what they need to do, whether it's legitimate or illegitimate. You can't sit there and go in a city and just by the vibe you get based on your, heart, not even seeing, when I see this right here, I don't see people on the street, I don't see no guns, I don't see nothing, okay? I love Atlantic City. I've been there multiple times. I've been on the inside, beautiful hotel, right? Pool, it don't matter. I don't care, green, white, purple, this, that, black, yellow, this. They're all people, right? We crap the same, we pee the same, we think the same, right? Has nothing. Physical appearance has nothing to do with that. But the most important thing is we can learn from somebody else that has a brain. You know what I mean? Like, to come into, like, I've known Normal Guy for years, for 12 years, going on more than a decade in itself, and it doesn't make him a bad guy. I don't blame the guy, but here's the thing. No matter what you do in life, you know, the more people that view something or see something or have a perspective on it based on what they're doing and video-wise on their, you know, territory, as I should say, city-wise, they're going to have remarks to say about that, because then they see somebody like, well, he's not from around here. They know, right? The second he walks and the second he speaks. It has nothing of that sort of nature. So, in my opinion, it doesn't matter Atlantic City, Newark, Patterson, this, that. It could be Short Hills, this, that, you know what I mean? New York City, Manhattan. Like, when he mentions, you know, not him, but in general, there's drug addicts, drug dealers, this, that, in all cities. There's only a matter of a ratio of how many more there is to this, to that, to this, to that. And sometimes we don't even know. You know, it's hidden. And I can understand why there's people that react to this, because I don't blame them. I mean, if this was my city, where I came from, and I had somebody that would come here and do this, but I can't blame him because he doesn't really know much about it. It was an impulsive move, which I understand. I've known him for years, and to do something like that, you know, it's heartbreaking for him because of the critique of the comments that are made by the people that are in Atlantic City, or whatever the case may be. Any person that, it doesn't matter, they're not from there, and they go into a town or a city that they don't know about, or they have no history on it, you can't sit there and make it. Like, opinionation is based on, it should be kept in the head, not verbally, you know, publicly made to society, YouTube-wise or whatnot. Also, walking around a 3 to 4 block radius of Atlantic City, Atlantic City is a big, large area. Like, there's the beach, there's the inside, there's this, there's that. But just to walk around a 3 block radius, and there is no people that are trying to harm this individual, which is Normal Guy, which I've known for years. And I feel bad for him, and I feel bad for the people, the residents that live in Atlantic City. I mean, I understand what they're going through. Like, I mean, I don't blame him, because he kind of put a movement out there where he just kind of walked around aimlessly, where he had no direction to go to, so to speak, where he should have actually done his, you know, research first and interview people. You know what I mean? Like, you know, going back on the, you know, Tupac Shakur conspiracy and the Biggie Smalls in Baltimore City, Tupac Shakur, where he grew up in, you know what I mean? They were best friends, and there was a documentary where there was a British guy that would go to these places that Biggie Smalls that worked at as a kid in a grocery store, barbershop, this, that, and he asked questions to people that knew him as when he was growing up as a kid, you know what I mean, just to get knowledge based on that, you know, versus just kind of like, let me walk the streets and sit there and, you know, make an opinionated judgment based on that. You know, like, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, we all do it, obviously. Sometimes we don't realize it. It's natural instinct. You know, we could walk around, go in the middle of nowhere and be like, well, you know, we can go in Antarctica and say, well, you know, this, and that, and the third. Eskimos, you know, live in igloos and this and that. But, you know, we really don't know how their life is, or, you know, these people that live there. You know, it's a hard life everywhere. It doesn't matter where you're living, where you're at. It's just everywhere in the world. It doesn't matter. You know, people are judgmental on the fact that when they look at the news and they see the statistics of murders and rapists and this and that, it doesn't matter. It could be in the best part of the world, quote unquote, I should say, but it's not really. That's just based on the perception of the social norm of society, of how people have the perspective on how they see the world in general. Where we're so quick to judge a book by its cover, but not really take the book, open it up, and read it. I've been judged multiple times. I don't want to mention that's for another video, but you know, just because one person said one thing and another person said another thing, and it's like, oh crap, that really happened? And sometimes people are naive. I'm not saying that people from Atlantic City or any town, like in every town, there's always a certain amount of ratio of people, even in my town, that could be gullible and, you know, naive and whatnot and believe whatever is said, you know, word of mouth, and basically sit there and just judge that person based on that. But, you know, you need physical evidence. But even all that, it doesn't matter. We're all human. We make mistakes. It doesn't matter. Like, people deserve second chances. People deserve third chances sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, we're human. We make mistakes. And, you know, I feel bad for the residences, the people that live in Atlantic City that, you know, they have a family to feed. People don't know what their real initiative of is to sit there and put food on the table, whether what they're doing. That's their personal business. That's not mine. Whatever they do, I respect that. I don't sit there and expose nobody, no. But, you know, looking at this video, you know, it should have been, you know, more interviews should have been made. There's no interviews in this whole aspect. It's just, you know, randomly walking down the street. Obviously, that's a mistake made by a normal guy, which I could see, but that doesn't make him a bad guy, obviously. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's just trying to make a video for whatever reason to make, you know, some people say, oh, well, he's trying to make money off of it. Maybe not. We don't know. We don't know his true intention. Obviously, we know that that area is not his area, so he's not from around that area. So why sit there and document a city that he doesn't have knowledge on? Have knowledge of it first. Interview the people. Make them feel comfortable. You know, crack a few jokes here and there. Put a smile on somebody's face. You know what I mean? Don't sit there and just go in somebody's city, walk and step foot there, and keep your footprints there and put a signature on it, and bam, you know, it is what it is. I saw, I came, I conquered, but you have no knowledge and facts to back it up. I've known this guy for years, and I feel bad for him as well. But in all actuality, you know, he should have done his knowledge first before doing this video. In all aspects, and that not only Atlantic City. There's you know, every town. It could be fucking California, Los Angeles. It could be this, Sacramento, boom, pop, Michigan, Detroit, this, that, Louisiana, all, New Jersey. I mean, like Colonia, Woodbridge, Island. You know, any town, doesn't matter. Just because a politician or a governor or whatnot says one thing good about something, it doesn't, you know, credentially, they might have the right credentials to get that position to say something, and then people believe it. It's like propaganda and brainwash. But no, like, every city has its own thing, and that's what makes up a unity. You know, people stick by their city. You know, they kind of look out for each other. So I can understand the defense mechanism of what they're saying, because they feel like that their city was mocked or disrespected, and where they lived and they grew up with, and I feel for them in that aspect, because if I was them and there in this city and somebody else would do something like that, I feel the same way. But at the end of the day, you can't sit there and blame normal guy for it, because, you know, he's just making an opinion. That's what people do. There's opinions, there's judgments, there's facts. We all know it too well, you know. That's the whole point of society.